Hey everyone!
Wait, where can I stand?
We are
Trying to do this right, get
live.
that branding right, right? Cutting off the top of my head. Hi, everybody. It's Michelle Talbot and Natasha Wright in the house, the
Hey, hey,
Diamond
hey!
Butterfly. Super excited. We are here to talk about the No Small Business Left Behind Summit. And Natasha is an incredible event producer, coordinator, thought leader in the space, both for offline events, in real life events, and for producing virtual events, online events. Tell us about it, Tasha. Tell us about the Diamond
Yeah,
Butterfly.
thank you for the intro, Michelle. Yes, my name is Natasha Wright. I am the founder of the Diamond Butterfly, where I help visionaries create, market, and produce their IRL in real life events and their virtual events too. And I love to support small business owners with their digital content creation so that they could shine online and offline, right? So I'm excited to be a part of this conversation, the discussion, a continuation of what we did with the No Small Business Left Behind Summit. We about to bring on Nick, the mad scientist, and I love that name. I'm like, I wish I had a cool AKA like that. So, about to bring on Nick, the mad scientist, Patricia, my girl
Yes,
from
traveling Aura, who
South.
held court. We'll talk about her holding court here at the
Yeah,
grand
yeah,
opening of her power
yeah.
space, which is where I am right now, in the headquarters of all that we do. But
Yeah.
Tasha, you said you wish you had a cool moniker, but you do. I mean, the diamond butterfly. In fact, tell
True.
us what that means, right? Because that's two kind of different things going right there. What tell
Mhm.
us about what that was when you created that concept of the diamond butterfly.
So it's interesting because I remember when I was interviewing Angela of Deserve Professional Hair Care at the No Small Business Left Behind Summit, and she was talking about how she came up with the name for her company, and it felt like it was like a very similar process to how I came up with the name for my company. So at that time, I was a part of another business that was, pretty much about to close down, or it was on its last leg, and I knew that I wanted to start curating spaces and doing events that are impactful and empowering. And so I really thought about all these different names and, what could the name of my company be? And of course, the quickest thing to think about is like your last name or your name or something like that. So I was playing around with like the right group or right enterprise and like all these things, right? But it seemed very corporate and it didn't necessarily like match who I am intuitively and instinctively. And so I really just sat down and I prayed and I said, God, like I need to know, what is the name? What is the name of my company? What should I call it? And a name that is going to be a part of my longevity and transform with me. And that was the name that I got. And so I just went with it and, designed my logo and hit the ground running. So for me, initially when I got the name, I didn't really know like how it would transform with me along the way, right? So it was like initially I started out just wanting to do my own events, and so the Diamond Butterfly, which is like a transformational process, and it's I've transformed with the brand. And my business and service offerings have transformed with the brand as well. And so Diamond Butterfly is just really about like how can I support other business owners to transform whatever their dream or their vision is to like bring it to reality so that they could shine online. And it just shows that, from, 4 or 5 years ago when I got that name, it has traveled with me and it has now represented like what I do with my business overall.
Exactly. It stood the test of time.
Yeah.
And now I'm super glad that I asked you why, because to me, I think of butterflies as so delicate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
diamonds are like forward, like they could stand the test of time. They could, and your
Exactly.
name now stands the test of time with
Yeah.
that sort of juxtaposition. Because you're a little girly, right? But you get in there and you're like flipping tables and moving tables and setting up all events and stuff
Listen.
like that.
Listen, and like a segment of my business, before was doing rentals.
Right.
So
Yeah, I mean, you provide what we need for the space when we
yeah,
need
like
folding
tables,
chairs and
chairs, and
folding
I'll
tables. You
pull
still
up
got
with
that.
I pull up with a truck with like, 15, 20 tables,
Right.
100 chairs, like a crown chair, and I'm like, take them off the truck, and people be like, wait a minute, what is going on here? I did not expect that. I did not
That
expect
is
you
the diamond.
to do that, but you have to roll with the tides, and you have to become whatever it is that you need in your business. And so if that means that I need to go work out so I could be able to lift these tables and offload and unload, then yes, that's what I was going to do. Hey,
Absolutely.
Erica.
No doubt. And I'm so glad, like, talk to us just a little bit. We want to say hi to Susan Axelrod here from Sedona. Thank you. Erica Knowles is here. If you have questions, if you have a business, drop the link, either your Facebook page, your website, your Instagram handle. I mean, wherever you want people, your LinkedIn, wherever you want people to connect with you. Because remember, this conversation is an extension of the No Small Business Left Behind Summit. And our entire ethos is about ensuring that none of us are left behind, that none of us fall into that unfortunate 41% number of Black-owned businesses that have shuttered, that have closed since February. In 3 months, we have lost 41%, 440,000 Black-owned businesses in America have closed. And we have said enough. No small business gets left behind, okay? So just super quick, Tasha, talk about your pivot, or was it an expansion, or was it just like making sure you focused on your online production services?
So the pivot really came from me, once we went into quarantine and I saw that, a lot of the projects that I was working on was either canceled or postponed with no like definitive date. And just kind of like sitting around my house for like 2 weeks, like still coming into my office, looking at my laptop, but with nothing to do. And just kind of like going through that process, and I shared it in my newsletter where I felt like it was just a process of like the grieving stages, where you're kind of like angry, you're depressed, and then you kind of just go through it and you realize like this is the moment that you're in right now. You just have to deal with it and just saying, all right, well, what can I do next? Right. And so I read an article. It's through an event industry type of article. And so they were talking about how a lot of marketers or event producers had never done virtual events before. I think it was up like about 70% or so had never done a virtual event before. And so for me, that meant like that was a moment for me to capitalize on, because I don't have the same experience as someone who had been in the game for 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, right? I don't have the level or caliber of clients that they have, although I aspire to have them. But, that meant for me that, this was my way in, and it was an opportunity for me to expand the services that I provide, but also just looking at what is the current state of events right now. Right now, Florida, we had this week we had like the highest new cases of like over 11,000. So that means to me that events aren't necessarily going to come back in the way that they've been before for like until 2021, right? And so that means that for the most part, people are going to have to focus on virtual events. And so I figured to myself, how can I, just dive deep, go hard, go fast, and be a part of as many virtual events as I can possibly be, as many virtual shows that I could possibly be a part of, research as many virtual platforms as I could possibly do within the free time that I have, so that I could beef up my skills and be able to provide this service in a transformative and great way for my clients.
Love it.
Yes.
So I'm dropping your website into the
Yes, drop the website. TheDiamondButterfly.com. You can also follow me on Instagram, the Diamond Butterfly, Facebook, the Diamond Butterfly, everywhere Diamond Butterfly except for Twitter. I don't know what my username is over there.
Oh my God. It's so funny, right?
So
we pick up our names everywhere, and we have our names going everywhere, and it's like I'm not even there anymore, but my name is still over there.
But you know what? I was like, let me make sure I hold down the real estate over here.
Yes, that's
it's
exactly
like
right. I'm not doing TikTok though. Do not even look for me on TikTok. I will never be there.
I was like, let me go put a Diamond Butterfly over here. I looked in, I was like, what is this? Like, I don't understand it. I'm gonna just claim the username and call
let
it a
it
day.
go.
Yeah.
So, We're about to bring Patricia Rain on, who is the host of The Host. She's the founder of Traveling Aura Mobile Spa. She is incredible. I'm going to bring her on. I just want to tell you a little bit about the No Small Business Left Behind Summit, our next event. If you weren't there for July 1st, if you weren't there for May 7th or 10th or whenever we did the last one, we focused on like things like crowdfunding your own PPP money, right? How you can get access to capital, how you can pivot in your business. Then last week we came back and we brought it for the brick and mortar folks. And I think at least half the people on there actually were e-commerce businesses. But the bottom line was that they were getting the information they needed to continue their businesses in the time of COVID, Corona, Rona, whatever you refer to it as, in the time of civil unrest, in the time of a lot of heaviness on our hearts that gets compounded when our businesses are struggling, right? And our communities, our customers, our clients are struggling and understanding what that looks like. So we actually folded in some great information about the morning shift from Tiffany Lanier, and we folded in accountability from Nikita. And I talked about how you could take up space. If you can't put human beings in the space, then put some inanimate objects in the space and make money. Like, spoiler alert, Wish pays you for taking their orders at your space. Did you know that? You don't have to be a co-working space. You can sign up for Wish. People do shop on Wish, right? I can't speak to what you get, but you can shop there, right? I've got a couple things, I ain't gonna lie. But in terms of utilizing your space to continue to make income for you, to be creative. And so those replays will be available in about a week. We're getting some editing done and getting those really right. So you know I'll be talking about that. And like I said, we're gonna bring on Patricia Rain. Tasha's gonna jump off. We're gonna get Nick set up next, and Patricia and I are gonna have a great conversation. Please ask your questions in the chat. Natasha and I are both looking at the chat to make sure when one of us is on the screen, the other one of us will be in the chat. So please, I am here at Her Power Space. We are a co-working space, business event venue, and podcast studio that is woman forward, men welcoming, right here in Sunrise, Florida. Love the free parking, off street, in the parking lot, and we have a fountain and lush greenery that I'm looking at right now. So we are blessed. And as you know, which way do I go? We all win, right? And that is our motto. No small business left behind, and we all win. All right, Tasha. So I'm gonna bring on Patricia, and Tasha will be back with Mr. Nick, Mad Scientist.
Yeah. See you later, guys.
There's my girl. Hi, I think you're muted. Hold on. I can't hear you. Can you guys leave me a message note in the chat? Can you hear Patricia? Natasha, can you hear Patricia? No, we can't hear you. Your mic is off on your computer, maybe. Is your mic off on your computer, or is your computer muted? I did, but it's not anymore. It's muted again. No. So, no, we still can't hear you. I can't. So what we're gonna do, hey Danny, yay, Danny Faust. Okay, so girl, so you come on up here. She's in the space. So we're gonna figure this out. All right, we're gonna do what we gotta do. So Patricia is in the space. So we're just gonna do this.
Gonna do this.
Right, okay.
I'm glad I can.
I know, right? It worked out. For some reason we couldn't hear her. We'll probably have to step back though.
Okay.
So I'll like come in and out. So Patricia, welcome to Her Power Space. We're gonna make this work.
We're gonna make it happen.
All right, so everybody can hear both of us now, right? So we got not social distancing. So I'm gonna kind of come off camera and come on camera.
Perfect.
I don't think it matters if y'all see me. You can hear me, and that's all that matters. So everybody can hear me, right? Danny, we're excited too. Yay! Tasha, confirm that you can hear us, please. And then we're gonna make it work. So Patricia, let the folks know about Traveling Aura, your mobile spa. Just tell them what you do to start.
Hello, everyone. I'm Patricia Rain, the owner and founder of Traveling Aura Mobile Spa. And we're a mobile spa concept where we pamper clients in their home, office, or hotel. And the premise of Traveling Aura is that you don't have to deal with traffic and you can have the relaxation concept wherever you are. And so, as you know, obviously that has changed in the last couple of months, but in a nutshell, we provide the clean, because we bring all disposables. We bring disposables to perform the services in your home, office, or hotel. And we literally create that ambiance wherever you are, so you don't have to feel like you need to be in the spa setting. And so you don't have to worry about, people in your space, people just watching you and enjoying it, and hence the name Traveling Aura. We really set that aura in the presence of your home, office, or hotel.
So tell us a little bit about what your business looked like before COVID struck and how it looks now, or any bumps or boosts along the way.
So my concept is pretty interesting. Being mobile, when I created the concept, the premise was, you have busy stay-at-home moms, you have busy executives that just don't have the time to get into the salon. And then you also have the salon settings, which aren't necessarily, they're not all inviting, so to speak. And many people were expressing to me that the salon setting was beginning to feel more like a chore instead of a relaxing setting. So that's where Traveling Aura was birthed. So beforehand, we just pretty much serviced bridal parties and busy entities that just didn't have the time to get service for their entire staff. So when you have someone coming to you,
and
it alleviates.
Chick Flick Fridays in Her Power Space.
Chick Flick Fridays. So that's what it encompassed. We did a lot of bridal parties. We would go on set and do things for models and things of that nature. So that's what Traveling Aura did before. So when COVID came along, we saw something a bit different. For my business, I actually saw a spike in services because, obviously all the salons were closed, no one could get anywhere. And it really solidified the mobile spa concept, which before it wasn't hard to get people to gravitate to the mobile spa idea, but people were a bit more apprehensive. But when COVID came around, people were like, okay, where have you been all my life? This is what I need. So we saw a spike. We saw more of an incline. People were more interested in having that private service in home. And you don't have to worry about the social distancing. And we were already using disposables anyway. We were already using gloves anyway. So it really just boosted our concept even more. But we did make some changes. We did add some services, some no-touch services for clients that are reluctant about people touching them, like Michelle. Michelle's not a real big fan of being touched. So the no-touch service.
No lie at all.
She's made that very clear on multiple occasions. But our no-touch services are great because it's using a cupping technique. So the cups are actually performing the services and we're not touching you directly. And we also have gloves and a mask on as well. So that's where we are post-COVID. Okay. And we have some online things coming out and some products as well coming soon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And so in terms of thinking through a business pivot or somehow expanding your business, what did that look like for you? Let's talk about the aura side, right? Because Danny is on right now and she hosts the Manifested Sis podcast. So let's get a little like freaky deaky. What's the word? Woo-woo. So talk about the mindset shift, if any, that you had to sort of navigate in this time.
Ooh, that's a good question. How much time we got, Michelle?
No, we ain't got that much. You got like a minute. She got a minute.
So mindset shift. So with the basis of my business being called Traveling Aura, yes, we do provide pampering services, but it's more about wellness, right? It's about making it a lifestyle and being, it's not just being pampered, but it's a mindset. So I'm glad you asked that question, because mindset is so important. And even for myself, in pivoting, I had to go back to the drawing board, and I had to ask myself questions that I had already answered, but in a sense, I've forgotten because my mindset was in the midst of this chaos. So in a sense, this time has been used to just will myself back into the core. And so asking myself the core questions that again, I had already answered, but revisiting them and asking myself, how do I feel now and where am I now? And so mindset is very important. I've been doing a lot more meditating. It's been essential because we're in such an unknown question mark. Every day we're figuring things out still as we speak. So it's important to meditate. I've started back working out, eating habits, and just those key things that I've had to introduce back into aggressively into my routine.
Mm-hmm. And so last question before we bring on Nick and Natasha comes back to join us. Natasha asked, is cupping painful? It looks like it looks like something from like the King Henry or somebody's time, right? Yes. Leeching.
And that's why you all want to go ahead and follow Traveling Aura online. We do have some videos and some information. We do have a blog as well where we elaborate further on the technique and where it birthed from, but it is not painful. There's different techniques where the goal is to not leave the cups on as long. So if you look at the older technique that was used, they used glass bowls and they actually used fire inside of the bowls, and then they placed them on the skin and moved it around. So it's not painful. It looks painful, but it's not. But with using the silicone now, it's not as invasive, and you don't leave the cups in that area as long because you don't want it to look bruised up like it looks in those pictures when you Google
it. That's crazy.
Thanks for asking that,
Natasha. All right, so what we're gonna do now is bring back on Natasha, right? And she is going. That's crazy.
Thanks for asking that.
All right, so what we're gonna do now is bring back on Natasha, right? And a little bit of a delay.
Awesome, Patricia. Long time no see.
Sorry, I didn't go ahead. My bad. You guys can follow Traveling Aura. I put the Instagram down at the bottom, but what's your website for them, please? And I'll drop it in the comments.
www.travelingaura.com. And also the other thing I forgot to mention is we did expand into the Tallahassee market. Yeah. So we do have services, just manis and pedis in that area. So follow us on travelingaura.com, and we have so much information to share. So we look forward to sharing more information. Thank you for having me.
Did you hear what she said? Expansion in the time of COVID. Expansion, and that's what we're doing. It's not just about survival. It's about how can you thrive? How can you actually level up your income streams and think creatively to do that? So, Patricia, thank you so much for being here. And she's here.
I'm here. Officially, my co-working space where Traveling Aura will be working out of. So, Michelle plays a big part into the expansion. She doesn't know it directly, and she tries to be humble about it, but I'll say it on the record.
Where Michelle we are is the plug for those who don't know.
There you go. All right, y'all. So check out
Michelle the plug Talbert.
Love it. I'll take it. Vicky Haywood, how are you? And if you guys have questions, yes, Vicky, we are full of energy. All right, so speaking of plugs, I'm gonna do this real quick plug. I'm gonna be on Vicky Haywood's podcast in about a couple weeks. We've been planning this before, right? So I'm just looking forward to that conversation. She is incredible. And I just love our community and our ecosystem. And when we say no small business left behind, we mean it. Who is this brother coming to the stage right now? That is Mr. Nick, the mad scientist. How are you, sir?
Pretty good. How are you ladies doing?
Hey, Nick.
I'm good. You might want to raise your volume up a little bit.
On my side?
Y'all. Yes, sir. I think so. I think so. So, Nick, where are you hailing from? We see a lot going on. Tell us a little bit about the mad
I'm
science.
in West Palm Beach, in the Northwood area, close to Curry Park, downtown. I have a barber shop, and it consists of 5 chairs. Currently, I have one other barber and a hairstylist working here. And I heard you ladies speaking of expansion. I actually had a barber who left here maybe about 3 weeks to a month ago and opened up his own private salon section up in off of Okeechobee.
Wow. You said Okeechobee?
What's that?
I think we are having a little bit of,
Yeah.
Tasha, do you hear him really well or no?
Yeah, you might need to come closer to the camera.
Closer? All right, well, I'll bring you ladies closer then.
Yes.
He's trying to get all his merch in there, which we're going to talk about, right?
I know. Just turn
That's what we're here
the
for.
camera horizontal.
Yeah, that's true. Will it work on the back end? Turn your camera horizontal. Let's see what it does for your picture. And so I'm going to go.
All your stuff. Yeah, there we go.
Yes, there you go. See, that is why you need Natasha on your event team.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Nick actually, like I said, he is my barber. You have seen all of my amazing designs. I was introduced to him by Danny Faust, who is incredible. Okay, Danny, and the Manifested Sis podcast host. Yeah. And he has taken great care of both of us. He's so creative. And so I'm going to allow the creative juices to flow between Natasha and Nick. And then I'll be back in a little bit. But check out No Small Business Left Behind Summit coming August 15th. Save the date. It's going to be huge. And I don't even talk like that, right? So you know, I don't blow up stuff. This is non-hyperbolic. All right. So thank y'all for joining this conversation of the No Small Business Left Behind. I'll leave it to the Diamond Butterfly and Mad Scientist Nick to continue the convo.
Hey. Yeah, Nick, I was saying to her beforehand that, I wish I had like a cool moniker like that, like the Mad Scientist, to really encapsulate what I do. So it's super dope. I'm happy that we finally are getting a chance to have this conversation.
You got around all the difficulties today.
Right, exactly. So you said that you have your own shop. Can you tell us a little bit more about, your journey as an entrepreneur, and, to where you are now, where you actually got a chance to open up your own place? Can you talk to us about that journey?
Right. I started actually in my parents' backyard.
Okay.
On my father. My father saw me watching him and my brother getting their haircut. And I don't know if he saw the sparkle in my eye or what he saw, but he saw something, and he purchased a pair of clippers. And one day he asked me to come outside and cut his hair. Me knowing how much my father jokes, started with a joke and laughed it off and back inside. He came inside and grabbed me and was like, yo, I really want you to cut my hair. Mm-hmm. So needless to say, that was my first haircut, which was on my father. Probably my first 5 haircuts was my father. And it just streamlined from there. I used that in college to get an extra streamline of income besides what I was doing already, because I was working on boats as well as working for DHL. But it brought an extra income for me in college, especially with the party life I was doing in college. So it helped out. It helped me have a little more fun.
Listen, we need to have that extra stream of income for, to help us with that other part of our lives. Yes. So interesting. So you said that you were working at DHL, you were working on a boat, you're also like cutting hair on the side. So you've been a hustler, for a while. So, and you were doing this while you were in college. So what did you study in college? So that's also interesting.
Engineering in college, actually.
You studied what?
Computer engineering.
Computer engineering. Okay, so that's actually like a departure from like what you actually do now. Is there any way that you combine, or within your business, you've been able to combine what you've learned from your computer engineering degree?
I have been able to combine it because in my shop I have a lot of technology, from ring lights to I'm sure you see the bar pole here, and right there where you see the mirrored light is actually my bathroom, my restroom.
Nice. Okay.
So, I mean, we have probably the latest clippers. Everything we use here is cordless. We're just waiting for a cordless blow dryer next. But I've done the most I can to make everything technology based when it comes to my barbershop. The hair dryers, pull off dryer from the wall as well. Everything's kind of placed strategically.
Nice, nice. I love that. So it's really like you still have that like authentic barber shop feel, but
Right.
it's like to another level. You know, I feel like we could have like a rave in there or something and have like some blue lights and it will be a
Right.
party. Bring the drinks and let's go. So
There
I
you
love
go.
it.
You might not need to drink. Bring the drinks. We have them here.
Oh, you got the drinks too?
It's
Oh, okay.
complimentary. And we actually
Listen,
give out shots for birthdays.
what I
21
love
and up with
that.
ID though, of course. 21 and up with
Right,
ID.
right, right. You're not, you're not trying to have the cops coming out of you.
Correct, correct,
We're
correct.
doing
That's
everything
my
safe.
disclaimer.
Exactly, exactly. I love that. So talk about what happened, once we went into quarantine, COVID-19 hit, and now, all salons or shops like yours had to close down for a period of time. Talk to us about, just your mindset of going through that process and what you did, what you had to do differently.
Well, for me, initially, as far as my shop and myself, we were already an appointment only based shop.
Oh, okay.
We were already on that playing field already. I've been on that for like 4 or 5 years now. I've been on my app. I use an app that where everybody streamlines and go to in order to make an appointment with me. They register
Hmm.
their credit card and everything. So that's how they do a payment plan. They don't
Okay.
have to. We don't have to exchange any type of money or anything like that.
Nice,
I
nice.
already did extra cleaning here as far as sanitation wise. So all we did as far as the shutdown, we shut down when we had to. When we opened up, I just made it extra clean. Made people wear the mask as well as make me, wear my mask when it was
Hmm.
necessary and gloves. So we just, added a little notch to it. But we were already streamlined to what they expected from us in the first place.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's interesting because you were already like future thinking and forward thinking in the way that you wanted your shop to be. You already had some of those things in place already. So when a situation like this happened, it didn't impact you or affect you as much.
Right.
Matter of
We
fact,
only had to make a couple little tweaks. That was it.
right, right. Just maybe like wipe down and like just in terms of like hygiene and keeping things more
Keep our
sanitary.
Lysol wipes here and Lysol spray here now.
Right, right.
We spray down after each customer.
Nice, nice. I love that. Yeah, my barber, he started doing something similar to that. I'm like, what? Really? You have to set an appointment and only one person in the shop? And that was pre-COVID. So, I haven't gone to the barber in a while because I stopped, getting my designs in my head and all that stuff.
Right.
But, it goes to show that, a lot of barbers or people who are future thinking like you are thinking about, how can you have that really like exclusive feel for people in the shop and it adds to the experience overall, I'm assuming too then, right? So is there any other thing that you've added as a result of COVID-19? What are some things, for example, someone who might have a salon or have their own barbershop, like what are some advice that you would give to them right now, where they might be fearful of, the reduction in their income?
As far as income wise, because we are doing everything on an appointment basis right now, I
Hmm.
would dare everybody to get an app that has where they actually put in their information, their credit card information, so that if they do happen to not make their appointment, because there's no more walk-ins right now for you to wait
Hmm.
on or replace an appointment with. So what I do if someone's not going to make it, they have a certain amount of time to cancel their appointment so I can fill that appointment space, or they get
Hmm.
penalized. They get a 25% lodge on
Hmm.
what we're initially going to pay, and if they
Right.
are no show, no call, they are charged the full amount. So I still get
Ooh.
paid one way or another in a sense.
Yeah, yeah.
And if somebody doesn't make the or cancel their appointment, I have enough time to fill that spot. So I
Yeah.
recommend for those who are just trying to write down their appointment instead of just writing it down, I would get one of these apps. They have so many free ones as well if you want to pay for one.
And what are some of what is the one that you use, or what are some other ones that you would recommend?
The one I use is the Cut. They have Squire. They have Booksy. They have so many old ones as well as so many new ones now. You type in Barber app inside of your app store, and
Hmm.
it's so many pull up. I would check reviews, see which one's more along your speed. The ones
Hmm.
you pay for, they do a little more for you as far
Hmm.
as taxes go. They have a itinerary of all your sales, of your hours worked, your appointments, and everything for you. So it's just really you printing it out and giving
Hmm.
it to you, saving off your taxes. So it makes it so much
That's
easier.
perfect. That's perfect. To streamline your business, so you don't have to like figure out everything at the end of the
And
year
then you have an
and cause
account,
headache.
accountability for your money coming in now rather than
Right.
dollar here, that dollar there, and you go home.
Right.
A lot of barbers spend their cash while they're at work that they're making already. They don't actually put their money aside each day and see what they make and count up what they make. For me, the app, and for me as well, I was doing the same thing. But for me, the app kind of makes you do it. It pushes you to
see what you made. Yeah.
Right, correct.
And then, so when you talk about, like a lot of barbers, they're spending their money as soon as they get it. Do you pay yourself? Is there like a stipend? Like you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna definitely pay myself this, and then this is for expenses, and then this is for like savings or investing back into the business.
Right. What I did is there's a book from one of my mentors. It's called Pocket Game. And
Pocket Game?
I read his book. Yes, it's called Pocket Game.
Oh, Pocket Game. Okay.
Read his book, I want to say 5 or 6 years ago, when I really started thinking about opening up my own shop. And it talked about how to save without knowing that you're saving. So what it basically talked about is you putting aside your first haircut or hairstyle or whatever you're doing of the day, and putting it in the back of your pocket to put inside a jar or inside a savings or inside a certain bank account per day. And it depends on the person what you're doing, but he based it on a $20 haircut, not a $40, $50 haircut, $60 haircut like I do. So he actually based on a lower number, and the numbers save you a little over $5,000 a year.
Wow.
Just by saving that one haircut 5 days a week.
Yeah, and that's easy. It's like your first haircut or your first service of the day, just drop it in there.
Yeah. He spends that on lunch,
Yeah,
so
that makes sense.
For him to put that in our head and put that in place, because a lot of people took that book and took it serious, and it did help a lot of people with saving and organizing their money a little better than they're doing now.
Nice. All right, so the final question from Michelle said, can Nick talk about incorporating merchandise and also his skills judging hair competition? All right, let's hear about that.
Okay, if I can give you 2 seconds to run off and grab some merchandise.
Okay, no problem. So we're talking with Nick, the mad scientist. He has a barbershop in, I believe it's West Palm Beach. Is it West Palm Beach where your shop is?
Correct, West Palm Beach.
Okay, West Palm Beach. And if you guys go on his Instagram page, you'll see the types of design. He's so creative. He's an artist. He's really a hair artist, I would say, or consider him to be. I wish, one of these days when I get back to shaving the side of my head again, I will definitely come out there and visit him because he does some amazing work. And yeah, Michelle has also visited his shop, and also Okay Danny. So show us what you got.
I've even gone to the point where my barber, who left about 3 or 4 weeks ago to attain his own shop, he has a beard oil, which is classic beard oil, MSK 85. And I actually keep it in my shop and on my website so that I get a percentage of what he sells per sales. And it's not even my beard oil. And I still get a percentage of sales that he makes on per beard oil.
Right.
So okay. It doesn't have to be your per se product, because a lot of people don't want to take the time to actually go out there and make their own product. But if you can buy any product you already use inside your shop. Yeah,
like why aren't you making money from it?
Right, you can make money from it. You can sell it to whatever, because when they come in there, they're going to buy what product you sell. Most of the time, they don't question the price. So after you buy for wholesale, it's up to you really what you want to market it for and what you want to sell it for. But your clients trust you and they trust your opinion. So when you are telling them about something or you have something for sale, 9 times out of 10, if they continuously come to you and they're a client, not just a customer, they're going to buy your product. And all it does is boost up what you make per day.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's about the convenience too. It's like you really don't even have to, go to travel to a supply store or something like that. You can just get it right in the shop.
Rather than them having to leave your place and go to a hair shop or a hair store.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember I used to get the gel from my barbershop, and I think he charges like $10. And then I went to the supply store one day, and it was like $5 or $6. Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute, it's double the cost. But would I have gone to the store afterwards? Probably not. So it just makes it easier for me to spend that extra money, and it's also a way for me to tip him and support him. And today is Buy Black Day, July 7th. So if you guys are thinking about supporting other small business owners, today is the day for you to black out. Do not put your money anywhere else, but support and putting it into other Black-owned businesses. So I know that Michelle's about to come back on. Michelle said, yes, supporting other businesses with its merch. Win, win. Exactly. I completely agree.
We all win.
We all win, and that's what it's about. How can we circulate these dollars, and support other business owners, right? But still being able to be profitable ourselves. And thank you so much, Nick, for your words of wisdom, your advice. I love how you're so futuristic and forward thinking in the things that you're doing in your shop. And I hope that this inspires and motivates others who are in your industry to take it to the next level and think about how you can level up so that no small business gets left behind.
Left behind. Correct. And
yeah.
I thank you ladies so much for having me. And,
thank you so much for being here, Nick. How can folks find you? Just say it one more time. How they can find you on Facebook and IG.
As soon as they type in Mad Scientist Nick, I should be about the only one that pops up, and they can follow me there. And they're welcome to inbox me and ask me any questions they have. I have no problem answering and giving support to anybody.
Absolutely. And again, with the No Small Business Left Behind Summit, I knew that Nick had to be a part of the conversation because he has brick and mortar, because he supports merchandise, because he judges competitions. He's constantly working with entrepreneurs in the hair space, as well as being one himself, and constantly leveling up. So Nick, thanks for coming and sharing that story with us about all of you do. And if I do the undercut again, I'll be back.
I'll be ready for you.
Oh, that's what it's called? The undercut? Okay, good. I have the proper terminology now.
You asked him, do you bring any of your engineering skills to the shop? And I'm like, heck yeah, the way he does freehand, y'all.
I also work on all my clippers myself.
What'd you say?
I said I also work on all my clippers myself.
Wow.
Okay, so you save money. Listen, Nick is all about where can I save the coins and where can I make the coins?
I love it. And support others.
Yeah.
I love it. Thanks, Nick. I'll see you again soon. Bye. Y'all check out Mad Scientist Nick. Thank you. So Tasha, we just wrapped our first tag teaming of the No Small Business Left Behind conversations that will be continuing until the next one on August 15th. We want to ensure that we're bringing you guys the most value, that we are sharing what you need to not just survive, but to thrive in your business, to go to level. And next week we will be talking with Dwight Peters of Open. I keep moving because I want my I'm like showing all the ceiling and stuff. Look at that. Ridiculous. But
so what can people expect, Michelle, for the August 15th No Small Business Left Behind?
What's your question?
I said, what can people expect from the August 15th No Small Business Left Behind?
Me, I love that. Okay. So what people can expect if you joined us for Unvendor December back in 2018, where we took over the lofts at Sailboat Bend, and we had over 20 women-owned businesses vending, and people coming in and having great conversations and learning about the businesses and buying from them, everything from cupcakes to Afro Caribbean fitness with Forever Body to the consulting services. We are bringing that online. So if you are a business owner who would typically vend or otherwise sell your wares, so this is where we bring in our love of the side hustlers and the solopreneurs, right? So if you have a business that can ship your goods, that can do your consulting, we want you at the next No Small Business Left Behind. We are taking that vendor experience virtual.
Yes.
We're going to be right here, live and direct from her power space. DJ Shelly Rock.
Oh, yeah. And Shelly was at the previous one, too, the Unvendor December. Yeah, it was so amazing.
December, and the first No Small Business Left Behind Summit.
Yes, yeah.
She's going to be spinning here in the space, right?
Nice.
Space. So people can expect that we will be opening it free to the public to come in and learn about your business. And the way our platform is set up, you're going to be able to talk with them. We're going to be going live across our platforms. But wait, there's more.
There's more. For could get.
Listen to this. Afenia Montgomery, the founder of the ICANN Collective Co-working and Event Space in Chicago. Chandra Stringer, founder of the Inspiration Station in West Palm Beach, Florida. Michelle Talbert, here, based in Sunrise, Broward County, Florida. We are going to be doing, remember when we used to do Pass the Scopes back on Periscope?
Oh, I love Pass the Scopes, yeah.
Back together, and we are going to be sharing all of our vendors across all of our platforms. I swear that's going to get like at least 500,000 views.
That's major.
We know our perspective. So if you are a small business owner, we want you on camera. We want you interacting with our community, and we're going to be sharing more information about that in the coming weeks.
Nice. Vicki said, do you need a sponsor?
We definitely need sponsors, Vicki. Yes, please. In fact, tell us what business you have. Drop it here. That would be sponsoring the No Small Business Left Behind Summit, virtual summit. And next week, again, we'll be having a conversation with Dwight Peters, the founder of Open Phone Repair. Ooh, his business blew up during COVID, his brand new business. Brand new, right? Thank you so much, Vicki. Natasha, this is awesome. Lord, I went longer than we had planned. Information, I will definitely, thank you so much, Vicki. And that's our community, right? That's ensuring we all win. That's how our community shows up for each other. And I just thank you. Tasha, what do you have going on? What's the next thing you got going on, girl?
I mean, right now I am working on coming out with some online courses to help people with their online shows. So you guys can stay tuned for that. So just make sure that you're following me at the Diamond Butterfly on Instagram and on Facebook. And we're also working to release the new date for Stylux Beauty Expo, which is a style and beauty expo that we have every year. Usually it's in person, but this year our goal is to bring it online. So that's going to be sometime in mid-October. We're going to be releasing the date next week. So yeah, just stay tuned. You can follow at Stylux Expo on Instagram as well, or just follow me on my page, and you'll get all the details and you can get all the information. If you guys have any questions about virtual events, how to set it up, what platforms to use, or if you want to just go through a consultation to brainstorm any ideas that you might have for a virtual event that you might be thinking about, or if you're thinking about pivoting, like you had an event that you had scheduled for this year, but you know that right now is not the time for you to do that in IRL, and you want to just have a consultation about how you can make that shift and make that pivot, please feel free to contact me again on my social media pages. I take DMs, and I respond to them. So you could DM me, or you could go onto my website to schedule a consultation. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And just make sure that you are following Michelle and you are, participating or thinking about participating in the No Small Business Left Behind Summit, because the one that she did on Vendor December, I met so many amazing people, bought some great products, learned about like stick-on nail polish, which I had seen them in the store in like CVS, but there was actually a young lady there that she sold them, that she made, and I thought it was just so cute and amazing. So it was a way for me to find, just new things that I could purchase from other small business owners. So yeah, I hope you guys can all come out virtually in support.
There you go. Well, you know me and my big mouth. I'm like double dutch. Like, let me in. So what is crazy? You just talked about the stick-on nail polish, and I feel terrible. I can't remember her business to shout her out. But Roz Yates Johnson just joined, and she has done this incredible pivot. Roz, we probably need to bring you on to chat with us, because she's always been about self-care. And now that we've switched into this place where we're staying at home, like my daughter is doing different videos about how to keep your nails up at home. Roz is doing videos in her Facebook group about how to do self-care while you're at home. Obviously, Patricia can come and do some external self-care, right? So I love that. And also just wanted to say thank you to everybody for joining us. If you actually want to expand your platform, I'm your girl. I do consulting. I do everything. I should have been on In Living Color. I should be Jamaican, Tasha. You should be my Hello.
She the plug.
You're all mellow. You're like the Jamaican. I'm the Jamaican. How to happen? I love it. So, but if you have any consulting needs, you can definitely hit me up. I'm going to drop my calendar link in the comments as soon as I leave here. But Michelle White Talbert, slide in my DMs. Y'all know how to find me. Everybody knows how to find me. So until next week, I'll be back again with Dwight Peters of Open Phone Repair, based in Harlem, USA. And I'm here with Natasha of the Diamond Butterfly Event Planning, Michelle White Talbert, here with Patricia Rain of Traveling Aura, and thank you again to Nick, the Mad Scientist Nick, if you're on Instagram. All right, we'll see you next week. Thank you all. Bye.
Bye, everyone.